finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Burke Keel warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/24.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in wash scent beads.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water. I say hot tub. Hot tub. All right, good morning. Woo! Hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. Gonna make it wet. Say hot tub.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you and Glenn dancing, having a great time. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah. Thursday morning, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hot tub's what we need today. Yes. Glenn and I got our clothes on. Wildcats got a lot of clothes on. Jeremy walks in with a pair of shorts, bathing suit. What did you do? Go Ironman competition before you come in here or what?
No. I just got up and get going. So yeah.
Unbelievable. Hey, I'm telling you, he's tough.
He is.
Tough.
I know. If you're an official in any sport, you're tough in any level. So
yeah, Glenn. When my nephew died, I told a little story about Jeremy. That Jeremy came in, we talked about Lance, and I said, this preacher loves sports. I'm telling you, he loves sports. He was good preaching, but he's also good in sports. No, he's doing it. As a matter of fact, in Alabama, he was selected to call the championship baseball games, and people were looking. I said, "Yeah." I said, "You got to be pretty good to be selected in Alabama to cover anything in the state championship."
Right.
So you must have been pretty good at what you were doing.
I enjoyed it. I really did. It's my way of staying around the ball game, and it's a lot of fun. And Glenn's officiated. When you play, and it's kind of in your blood.
Now, when Glenn did it, we used to throw things at him.
They used to call me. They called me Shorty, like I didn't know it. So trying to hurt my feelings.
We've all had stories.
Yeah. One time he was calling a game in Arnold, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that can of Coke slipped. I didn't mean to."
Now, I will tell you a true story though. In the old Apalachicola gym, then they had you sat against the wall, and then there's like another wall, but that's where everybody sat. But right under the goal going out, there's the men's restroom. So when you go in and out, all that water and stuff, and they're washing their hands. Yeah, I just went right in the door there. Come right back out.
Where's the worst place you remember calling a game where you were treated?
Oh gosh.
Stand out.
Yeah, in the Apalachicola was playing over at East Point. Then it was, and so it was terrible. I mean, they were upset with me because we started the game with the coach didn't put anybody in the book. So when I went to talk to him. He goes, "Well, you guys are always after something." I'm like, "Well, coach, I stopped the clock so you could put your lineup in there and check your starters." Well, that's what my bookkeeper does. So well, they hadn't done it. So he said, "Well, you just do what you need to do." So we went out there, shot a few free throws, and every time somebody new came in the game, we shot some more. So then
that was the rule, though, right?
Yeah. So then what happened was the first time they go down the floor, after the other team shot all the free throws and brought it in, they shot a 3 and made it. So it was like 6-0 before they got started. And then he calls a timeout, and the guy shoots a 3, and they're in the zone. He goes, they're all over our back. Are you ever going to call anything? And I said, now, Coach, you know, I hate to not let you play the rest of this game, but I started back down the floor, and the guy ran out on the floor and just poured Coke all over the top of my head. So, you know.
Wow.
And no administrator, no.
That was a coach? It was a coach?
No, it was somebody from the stands.
Okay.
And it had on, it was Apalachicola Sharks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the guy ran out of the door with the Sharks on, and he goes, how did you know it was one of our fans? I'm like, duh. So,
wow.
That's what him and Taylor Swift have in common.
Yeah. So
they can sing good.
Throw at it.
We almost emptied the gym. But we didn't. But anyway, they almost won the game. They hadn't shot the free throws. So then we go in to go get dressed. So I locked the door so I could take a shower, and I had a rookie guy with me. So he lets the guy in. Guy starts gym. So I had to call the state. They had to write. They wrote a letter to me.
They came in and started yelling at you.
Yeah, yelled at him. I was in the shower. I come out and I said, "What are they doing here?" So then he gave me the old. I'm an old coach making 75 cents an hour, and I was at the time I was working at Bay High School. I went, Coach, I feel your pain for that, but we can't have this. And so the superintendent, the principal, and the coach all ended up writing me a letter of apology. Plus, it cost them some money too. So,
wow.
So, but.
Did you have a? Were you ever treated pretty bad?
I won't name the town, but we had a district championship softball game, and it was two rivals going at it, and it was hot. And went to home coach, who ended up being victorious in the game. Could have gone either way. And I told her, I said, we're going to need some help getting out of here.
That was the worst one?
And we had a county sheriff come along and get us out and get us on out of the county before we could get back to Panama City.
Yeah, you're supposed to have security at all the games.
Well, this is one of the guys I was calling with where we were, and I'm going to name it because it's funny. He's going to, at halftime, he goes, I'm throwing that guy out. That guy's terrible. I said, who are you talking about? He said, I'm going to throw the deputy out. Because the deputy's screaming, and I said, no, we'll never get to the end of Weewa Drive. I said, if you're going to do that, let me, you
take your car and go home.
I said, no, we're not, and then I had, one of the other things, too, is that over in Pensacola called the regional final. So whoever went to this went to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So there, it was packed. Pensacola and I forgot who else, but it was Choctaw, I think. So it's packed. It's standing room only. So right in the middle of the first quarter, there's timeout, and I wasn't the referee, so I just had to stand even at one of the benches at the free throw line, and I had to hold the basketball in the way we're going. This guy under the go starts yelling at me. Man, let me tell you what, you're not going to get out here alive, and he's talking to his buddies, and he's punching them, and ain't nothing you can do about it. He just kept going, so I kind of let it go. So we go a couple of times and another time out or something, and he starts yamping again. So right when they put the ball in play, I went to put the ball in play, and I blew the whistle and ran out there, and I pointed to the guy, and I said, we're not going another second till that guy's out of the gym. And they came from everywhere to get this guy out of the gym. And as he went by, I looked at his buddy. He said, "Well, I guess you can do something about it." But they were gonna put him in. They put him in a car, and they were gonna. I wanted to know if I wanted to press charges because he threatened me. I said no.
And you want to know why people don't officiate?
And I used to tell them, they yelled at me, "Did you pay to get in here? Don't yell at me for free," because But you know what? I'd rather for them to yell at me and all that than go home and pound on somebody because they're upset. You know what? Because but for the most part, it was fun. You got the best seat in the house, and they what was really funny one night at one school, they said, "How much did they pay?" And I just happened to have the check in my pocket, so I just pulled it out. I mean, you could. But I had this one.
You stirred the pot.
I had this one lady. I love her. I can't remember her name, but somebody Port St. Joe can tell me. She was doing something one night, so one of the timeouts, I ran up to her and pulled the other whistle out of my pocket and gave it to her, and she laughed, and I gave her a handshake. So every time she came to the Port St. Joe game, she would always bring her whistle in case I showed up. So when I showed up one night, she had it around her lanyard, and she showed it to me. So we just had a friendship doing that. So you can make, and I've called it places where they know your name, and they know all three of you, and they holler at you, Glenn, take care.
I think a lot of people know your name.
Yeah, but you know what? They go, Glenn, take care of Bobby. He's terrible tonight. Stuff like that. You end up knowing those kids. As long as they know you're going to call it fair, you know what I'm saying, and you just call it like you see it.
It's just managing the game and moving everybody through.
I just told this one guy, I said, I don't have time to think about not calling the right call. These kids are moving fast, and back then I said, I'm about 40 years old, and they're flying, and I'm supposed to keep up with them. So,
what about baseball? Did you ever have a bad experience with baseball?
Not really with baseball. It gets intense. You get the throwing at a kid. I had a couple of rivals in Montgomery, Trinity and St. James, playing one night, and guy's coming home to score, and he decides to treat the catcher like the linebacker, and next thing you know, got both sides out, and those type of things can always happen. In a moment, right. The game can be rolling along, and then in just a second it could shift. Yeah. But you'll hear those little things like, "You're missing a great game out there." They don't like your ball strike calls.
That's right. The next call you make better be for a cab, stuff like that. That's right. Ray Charles could have called that, and you missed it.
What's going on locally?
Well, let's see. There's a plethora of things going on. I almost had trouble staying on my teeth. Almost came out. Last night, the Bay High Soccer defeated Gonzales Tate 2-1, and Gonzales Tate was undefeated.
That's a good win.
It was.
Pick on Tate.
Yeah, and they did a great job. And I want to say the guy that signed him with Mercer, Flint Hellegas, was the player of the game. Right. And also our girls soccer team, they got beat by Mosley 8-1, and hopefully they'll do a little bit better. But then on Friday, we play North Bay Haven, and the boys and the girls travel over to Bozeman. And the boys basketball, they are at Marietta tonight, and they will host Arnold on Friday. Our girls played Tate last night, but I did not get a score from that. And then they will play North Bay Haven tonight, so at North Bay Haven. And Arnold boys soccer, they 2-0 against Fort Walton Beach. They won 2-0. Arnold girls got beat by Choctaw 6-2. And then the boys, Arnold boys basketball team will play at Bay Friday, and Arnold's girls basketball are at Marietta on Friday. My glasses are fogging up here. What's happened when you get old? But anyway, also now on Bozeman soccer team, they will play at Rutherford. Last night they played Rutherford last night. So did the girls. I don't have any score. The girls soccer team will be at Bay on Friday. And the boys basketball team from Bozeman won 48-41 over Cottondale. They are at Port St. Joe Friday. Bozeman girls, they will play at Port St. Joe also on Friday. Last time they played was last week. And you go to Mosley, their boys soccer team lost 6-0 to Niceville, and the girls soccer beat Bay High School 8-1. And then boys basketball, they went over to Childs. Mosley boys basketball went over and beat Childs 62-57. So they're having a pretty good year. They're at Rutherford on Friday, and their girls will be at Franklin County tonight, and they will be at Rutherford also on Friday. And then North Bay Havens boys soccer 5-2 over Marietta, and they will have Monroe there tonight, and their girls 8-0 over Marietta also, and they will be at they host Rocky Bayou tonight. So that's going on. And let's see here. Also, I told you I had a lot. So North Bay Haven soccer 5-2 over Marietta. And then North Bay Haven will play Monroe tonight. And girls soccer, they're 8-0 over Marietta. Also, they will play Rocky Bayou. I probably just went over that again. And Rutherford boys soccer, they are playing Bozeman last night. We don't know the score. And the girls played Bozeman last night. And the boys basketball team will be at Mosley on Friday. and the girls basketball team plays Mosley tonight. So that's kind of what's wrapping up.
Winter sports and full swing.
Sports, and I want to know that Adam Edwards is the new head coach and AD at Weewha Hitchcock.
Yeah, he was the defensive coordinator there. Wasn't he the DC?
Yeah, he was a DC and assistant head coach, and he played for Coach Johns at Bluntstown.
And Coach John's going to be in the new county athletic.
Do you know much about the new football coach?
No, don't know Coach Edwards. Yeah, very well.
And Bobby's going to the county office, the county AD.
Yeah, and then Bobby said he wouldn't have left. He didn't know it was a guy in capable hands, and he also, like I said, played for Bobby at Bluntstown. So congratulations to Coach Edwards, and see what's going on there.
And I can't believe he got out before, came back. Let's see how long he stays out.
Well, he's the county. He can.
Yeah, that county AD role. I'm
telling him to start golf teams, Bobby. You'll love it. So
yeah, he'll be like Tommy. He'll become a legend. He already is a legend.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people we have. And then we get back. I got a question to you.
I forgot. I got the score. Thank you, Jamie Bukowski, the AD from Bay High, on the alert. But girls won last night, 31-14 over Tate. So congratulations.
Great job. Glenn, you went and visited one of our new sponsors. Talk about your experience there.
Well, David Adamson Jewelry. I went in there and looked around. There's a lot of great stuff in there. If you're from Bay High, don't tell anybody. I got something for my wife, so don't say anything.
That's nice.
Lisa Deaton, don't say anything, so I won't say. Anyway, I looked around, and you know what?
What did you do, Glenn?
Huh?
What did you do that you had to buy something for the wife?
I didn't do anything.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
But anyway, he was such a great guy, and he loves our show. And he made me one of those deals I couldn't refuse. So
there you go.
I'm gonna tell you what, great, what a class act, and you know. It was great.
We got to tell Jeremy. That's one of. I don't know if you. That's one of our new sponsors.
Oh, good.
Great store.
Good, you know.
I think Jeremy. What we're doing now with his church, we make a donation. He gets up and preach, and he'll mention one or two of our advertising. No,
I don't know.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Waiting on that check to clear.
That's right. It's in the mail. But no, what a great. It's a great place. You walk around there, and a lot of the stuff he's created, and they could do actually everything. And then they even said if she doesn't like it, bring it back. We swap her for something else. So.
Well, not only that, Charlie Corn's back with us. Charlie Corn's place is brand new, located on 15th Street, right across
from Robert Fleming.
Yeah, so, Perry Mason. Robert Fleming over there for Christ from him. The place is incredible. They got Glenn, what I'm excited about, they got that back room. 25 people can sit back there. You can have a party. You can do whatever you want to do back there. But they got lunch specials every day. The beef tips, I kind of like that. I've had that before. They're 2 sides, tea and a drink for $11.20. You can't beat that. They got all kind of different specials. They've had a restaurant since 1986.
Right.
I mean, he's like a local legend around here.
He is.
Charlie Corn.
You know, they have great desserts, too, because, you know, so.
We're going. We're going to go. I don't know if it's going to be today, tomorrow. We're going to get there.
Right.
Charlie Corn and Linda.
Linda.
Yeah, great people. Love them. Thank you for your support, and we'll get out there and have a great time.
And Heavenly Hash, here we come.
Yes, sir. And don't forget, Charlie Corn's place is on 15th Street, the brand new one.
Right.
J. Michael's Restaurant, legendary. Closed down. Yes. No J. Michael's spaghetti yesterday. That's the first time in a long time I hadn't had that. J. Michael's, they're remodeling it. It's going to look beautiful when they get through with it, and we'll let you know when they're back open. Paul Christo did the exact same thing. They closed down. They thought it'd be a short period of time. It wound up being a lot longer. So as soon as we know when J. Michael's open, I'll let you know. I shared a post. All I did was share a post, okay? Share it. It's about who would be favored against Florida State in the 4 teams that got in.
Right.
And they were underdogs in all 4 of them. And so a lot of people started hitting on it. And Amy Counts, love Amy. Oh, my God, love her. That's Steve Counts' wife. Beautiful people, wonderful people. Big FSU fan. And she says, it doesn't matter. Alabama was the underdog versus Georgia. And that's right. It didn't matter who's underdog. Right. But anyway, I said, Paul, I just shared the post. I love Paul, but he's hot, baby. He's hot. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tonight, it's Thursday night football.
Cuts left to the 5. Harris barreling into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
The Steelers are tied for first in the AFC North and looking to roll against the 2-10 New England Patriots. Coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7:15 right here on your home for the NFL on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy skies and a high of 59 with a light breeze coming out of the south-southeast around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 51. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy most of the day except a slight chance of showers in the evening and a high around 67. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michaels Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Walking home from our house Christmas Eve.
That happened to him up in Kentucky, out in the coal mine area. He lived way back in the woods.
Way back in the woods.
His best friend, her daddy was a coal miner's daughter, or whatever, daddy. Loretta. How was Loretta? You and her got along pretty good, I heard.
Yeah.
I heard she's nice. She was real sweet.
Oh, her and Dolly.
Yeah. Dolly said she didn't know you. This that one time you bumped into her up there in
That's
Tennessee.
all it took, baby.
That about knocked you down, didn't it?
Stood me up.
A family show here, buddy.
Anyway, Jeremy, close your ears. We are back live. Are we live? Hopefully we weren't, but now we are. We're live. All right, questions. Questions, okay?
Okay.
FSU. And the more I think about it, I'm coaching football, and I win 12, 13 games in the playoffs. I already went over this. I'd be having a fit if they kicked me out, okay? The more I think about it, the more I do feel like they were pretty screwed, pretty bad, after looking at everything. I'm still not, don't blame it on Bama.
No.
The fight should have been Texas, Alabama. And Florida State should have been number 3 with undefeated like the other schools. But my question to you guys today, and we'll get into the rest of it in a little while, Florida State, should they boycott the Orange Bowl?
No, I don't think you should.
No.
The way you play the game now, the way to boycott is not buy the tickets. But that doesn't do you any good, because then that'll be the bad taste in their mouth every time you try to do something. We talked yesterday, some people we talked to about,
Well, they canceled the press conference.
I know, that's crazy. But the thing is, that's just not the thing to do. And if you sue them, that's not the thing to do either. Because you take all that money and just put it in towards a standalone facility, or give it to the players, NIL. So,
and we're talking millions of dollars if they didn't play in the Orange Bowl.
Right,
they would lose.
right.
No.
Right.
Of course, what would ESPN do?
Here's the other thing, too, though. How many people from Georgia are going to go pro? We already got a bunch of our guys. Some of them are not frontline players, but they're already in the transfer portal.
One of them is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's a different story. Besides, he just wants to leave because, I'm taking some of my report away. But he has a dispute with them over the NIL.
No, I'm talking about ones going to NFL.
Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 of them. There's Bell and.
So it's not going to be the true Florida State Georgia football game.
No, I don't know about. I don't keep up with Georgia, but I'm sure some of those.
They've had a couple opt out.
So
let's name it for what it is, though. It's winter camp now.
Yeah.
Because they're not the same teams that are going to show up. The portal's open. Players are leaving. They're declaring, for the draft, all of these things. So to say that we've got a continuation is a misnomer. They're going to play an exhibition game after a 3-week practice season.
All right.
The biggest piece is you're the only game in town because you've got that 3-hour block to advertise your product.
Right.
So to not play is to lose the advertisement.
Right.
It's the same way these bowl games, like the Camellia Bowl in Montgomery, is a football game, but it's a 3-hour infomercial on Montgomery, Alabama.
Right.
And so let's not even think about the bowl as a continuation of the regular season, save the 4 teams that are moving on. We've obliterated the bowl season. This is winter camp before spring football.
Well, Georgia, I know Kirby would never do it. He wants to play and win another ball game. I know what he wants to do. He's a competitor. But they got every right to be upset, too. They were number 1 team in the country. They lose 3 points in a championship football game, and they drop them completely to 1 to 6?
Yeah.
That's never, ever happened before.
Right. And then
you got another team that's won every game that was in the playoffs, and then they kick them out. That's never happened.
That was supposed to be our reward to be in front of Georgia, which I think that's stupid because, Georgia, usually when a couple years ago, what number 1 team lost, they put them at number 4. I mean, that's what, to me, if you're looking at records and all this,
look at the years Alabama's won the national championship. I think 2 times, Jeremy, right? They didn't even make it the SEC championship game.
Didn't win the division.
TCU lost the Big 12 championship last year and got in.
Right.
I was like this last year. I was going nuts because I thought Bama was one of the 4 best teams, and they were. But they didn't deserve it. Now they're saying, Florida State, you deserve it, but we got to have the best 4 teams. I mean, there's 3 new committee members that joined this year compared to last year. And it all changed. I wonder who the 3 are. I know one. I can't remember one of their names. I know one that was new. But there was 3 totally different guys from this year than last year. Could have been a female, I'm not sure.
And some of them, they go, we don't even know how everybody votes because they don't keep the records or something. I'm like,
well, I'll be honest with you. That, I get it, because who would want to go do it if you're going to make up? Somebody's going to be upset. And you want to get shot? Right now, look at the people, how upset they are throughout the country. I mean, it's I don't know.
It's really and truly, it's just a ball game. We're not sending people out that won't come back.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is, as mad as I got, it is what it is. And you just live with it. But their little thing is, well, next year you could be in. Well, maybe not. But that's not a deterring factor to say I'm still upset.
What's so bad about Florida State, Glenn? You had that quarterback who was an unbelievable football player. You had really, truly a chance to win a national championship. And then he gets hurt. Without him, I don't think they win it. But we don't know. We don't know.
But here's the other thing. We outlawed the horse collar. Why not the hip drop tackle that he got? So,
all right, here's my other question, and we might have to go into the second segment, our third segment, to answer it. If this is Clemson, and this happens to them, I don't think they kick Clemson out.
Because, no, I don't think they do too either. But didn't they win in 2018 with a backup quarterback? Didn't Clemson win?
I don't remember.
So,
what do you think? Seriously, think about it for a minute. Clemson's 13-0.
Are you talking about like recent history being the recent?
I'm talking about if they take Florida State's name off and put Clemson in the same situation right now.
13-0 and lose their quarterback.
I don't think they kick Clemson out. I think they keep them in. They've won how many national championships?
So you are kind of appealing to history as kind of the reason.
I think they did that. Yeah. I think they.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's a possibility. I mean, Clemson's wavered a little bit, but given that they have been there versus punching through, I mean, the TCU debate was pretty fierce last year, and
I don't think they ran their mouth as much about getting out of the ACC compared to Florida State. I really believe that hurt them with those three guys. I can never be able to prove it, but I kind of think that is true.
Well, also the former president and also the ACC commissioner didn't help anybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, the other thing, too, is they keep saying the third-string quarterback. Well, Rodemaker would have been well after 2 or 3 weeks. He would have been out of it.
He'd have played in the playoffs, yeah. But what do you think? Do you think Clemson would have got in?
It's a possibility. I mean, just, Clemson doesn't carry the national brand recognition, that you're maybe looking at if you're looking at viewers and those things that seem to be circulating around now with, well, this was done for advertising purposes. I mean, the keyboard warriors are at it right now with all kinds of conspiracy theorists.
Right.
But because Clemson, but it's a possibility.
All right. 22 plus million people watched Alabama and Georgia. 22 plus million. Broke the records. Okay? I always say follow the money.
Yeah.
And if you're advertising, and we know Alabama is the brand of college football. Hate them or love them, they are the name in college football. And I don't know.
They definitely are the cash cow for the ESPN and those,
I mean, who are they going with?
Right. But if you look at the 4 teams, okay, Washington,
Big Ten,
going to be in the Big.
Might as well say they're in.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Michigan, blue blood.
Right, and then you got Texas going to be in the SEC, and you got
who pays their bills?
Right, and you got Alabama. So Big Ten, SEC.
Yeah.
And who has the
That's the Super League. That's where it's coming to in the future anyway.
Who has the big contract with? Yeah.
Jeremy, does FSU wind up in the Big Ten or the SEC?
If you're FSU, I think you want to be in the SEC just from a regional footprint. Right now, you're looking at the new ACC where you've got to travel to Cal, you got to travel to Stanford, you got to travel to SMU. Yeah, I mean, none of that makes sense anyway.
Yeah.
So
they're not getting paid any money like the
right. That's just a student athlete having to go across country for a women's soccer game and then fly back and be in sociology at 8:00 the next day. So you want to stay regionally. That's one of the things that's been lost in all of this realignment is the regional nature of these conferences. And what does that do? I mean, we're obviously talking a lot about football, but every one of these other sports has to compete, and they have to compete against all the other member schools.
Where do they wind up, Glenn? Big Ten or SEC?
The Big Ten is really touting them, I think.
I think they won.
The thing is, logistically, though,
Florida State at Oregon.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great non-conference game.
If they did go in there, though, the money they'd make.
Right. Well, either league, and I think it's time.
Could you imagine going to town watching Southern Cal, Oregon, Washington, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State? There'd be a lot of people at those games.
Yeah, and the other thing too is
Oh, okay. Well, hold your thoughts. We got to take a break. I'm sorry. We're just in deep thought. Okay,
we're in deep something, but I don't know.
I tell you what, smoking there from the gears turning.
Last night, I had the heater turned off and slept good. I mean, slept good. Julie got close to me, snuggling, slept good, really good. She's so sweet. But you get up, you got to get in the shower. It's cold. I turned on that Stevenson air conditioning, buddy. That heater works great. That house is warm right now. Thank you, Jason. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. You got any problem anytime, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Local guy, grew up here at a local company. Let's take care of these people. Throughout Northwest Florida, Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker. Again, locals. His daddy was a principal at Mosley, did an unbelievable job, raised a great son, and he runs a great company. South Oak Title and Closing throughout the Panhandle of Florida. All your real estate needs. Do it, Mark Coward, Beth Mobley, the big-time realtors. They want to use Chuck Tucker. You make sure you demand Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing, #1. El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill. I went down there last night, saw David, had a great meal, had a great time. Get it tonight is a great time to go. They got karaoke going down there. I don't know if Glenn's going to be there or not. Glenn, we're going to really, when you and Jim go do Elvis down there, we're going to build that up. We're going to pack that place out. But get down to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Have a great time. Lunch specials Monday through Friday. Tell David Coach sent you. The legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell, next year will be his 25th year taking care of Bay County students, of the legend doctor around here in the Panhandle. And you don't have to be, Glenn Manley to go see him. You can be somebody like Wildcat, just somebody. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Get injured, go see Dr. Chad Mitchell. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back. Let's talk more about FSU. Glenn Manley have the update brought to you by Newbies. Florida State, 13-0. Hand me the Vaseline. Be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
There was only two teams that could go. It was Oklahoma and Florida State, and Florida State went, but Miami had beat Florida State that year.
Right.
The FSU fans conveniently forget that part.
Yeah, I forgot something that happened when I was 7 years old. I appreciate that call, Stan.
Yeah.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Bill Bird Kia is giving you holiday savings during the season of giving back. Take your next holiday adventure in a brand new Kia, now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed and 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/24.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
Kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Florida State Update is brought to you by Newbies. Get out Newbies, have a great time. Newbies 2 on the Curve, the place to go watch all sporting events. And then the mothership. I got to be honest, I've always loved that place. We used to always go upstairs, and they have a fire going, couch up there. We talked to John, Charlotte, and people our age usually up there. We talk, and they're just having a good time. I've seen Lorraine, Ben Johnson, Amy Counts, a bunch of people down there. Newbies is a great place to go, have a great time. They also have food, but check it out. We'll love it. And thank you guys so much for the support. Glenn, breaking news right here. Let me go back and pull this back up. Breaking news.
They re-voted?
No. No. It's like, doesn't matter what the votes are, who counts it.
That's right.
I think Putin was counting the committee's votes. All right, Charlie Corn's plate, or the new place on 15th Street. The special today, okay, the day special, listen to this, 6-ounce chopped steak, side and tea, $11.20.
Woo!
Can't beat it,
And
baby.
you get, the servers are not real small either. They're great.
Yeah,
they're
I
great
think you
shape.
can get vegetables. That's what I love.
That's right.
But get out to Newbies, have a great time. Charlotte, love you. You're beautiful, inside out, always giving back to the community. John, I'll tell you what, he can still play. He looks good. What do you got for us today on FSU?
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Coach Oles from Rutherford, who is coaching. He coached a little bit of everything. I think he should be the coach of the year. But Rutherford boys soccer beat Bozeman 4-0 in the girls soccer.
Gordy just said. Gordy said, Manley shopping on the dollar rack.
No, it's the little
good.
boys rack. It's the little boys rack.
God.
So, but anyway, the Bozeman got defeated by Rutherford, boys soccer 4-0, and the girls from Rutherford 4-0 also. Congratulations to them. And Coach Oles, appreciate your information there. And if I offended any high school out there, I apologize, but those are things that happen to you, and we still are on good graces with all of them. So anyway, All right, FSU, as you well know, there's 4 young men right now that have they're going to declare for the draft, and Jakeem Bell, he's also going to be in the Senior Bowl, and he may be in the Shrine Bowl also. Jared Verse is going to go, Trey Benson, and then Johnny Wilson decided he would just, go for the NFL draft, and they say he's in the top 100. So congratulations to him. And we have several people that have dropped out and are moving on. A.J. Duffy, he had injury, and so he never really got to play much. And so now he's the quarterback. He's going out. I hate to see this. C.J. Campbell, running back from Bahia, who he's got 5 offers already, and so we'll see what goes on there. And then Preston Daniels, who's a tight end. Dylan Brown Turner, linebacker, he's leaving. Marquiston, he's from out of Tennessee. Marquiston Douglas, he's a tight end, he's leaving. And Quayshawn Sapp, offensive line, is leaving. Doherty Russell, offensive lineman. And Ayabama Tafezi, I can't say his name without slaughtering it. He's a defensive lineman, he's leaving. And now Bless Harris is leaving also. He came from Lamar 2 years ago, but he's leaving. Now, here's the one that got me. Patrick Payton, okay? He's an edge rusher, can be an outside linebacker, however they want to do it. All right, he's leaving over a dispute with FSU over the NIL money.
Wow.
He's asking 3 times what a regular edge rusher gets or whatever. They appropriate this. And so he's upset because he thinks he should have a lot more. And so that's one of the reasons one
of the reasons I don't like the NIL. This life right there.
That's one of the reasons he's leaving. So, and also we had a little scare. We may not actually get this guy. He may flip to Auburn. The 5-star KJ Bolton.
Yeah, they're going hard.
Going hard. He actually was there Monday, and so hopefully we will rescue.
You said picture him and Hugh Freeze.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw it. Even I'm kind of an Auburn fan too, but I have to be, FSU. So, but anyway, and also an alumni from FSU, Darren James from the LA Chargers. He has been nominated as one of the Men of the Year for the Walton Payton Award, and also now wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, the 5-star wide receiver. He has shut off his visits. He's not going anywhere else after he visited Florida State during the Miami game, but he has been an Ohio State commit, so we're not sure. These people can have home visits, like we had our guys going for home visits too. So right now FSU is they're focused on quarterbacks and defensive ends. So hopefully they'll do what they're doing, and they can do in-home visits. So they're out there doing all that. And we have visited a young man from defensive end, and also gone in for some quarterbacks. And so we'll see how that goes. But as we're speaking today, probably some other people have already dropped out. I haven't seen anything yet, but like we talked about, I feel bad that they keep thinking about this boycott. It's not going to do you any good. You need to make sure you get your brand out there and let people see. And
plus, then think about it. Florida State's always gone down there to play every other year, play Miami. Right. It helps that community. So
it does. Your recruits come out of there. The other thing too is, like we talked about earlier, but everybody really could know this. It's not going to be the same 2 teams. So they keep saying, well, if you beat Georgia, you prove you should have been in there. And if Georgia wins, that shows you shouldn't have been in there. And so it's a no-win situation. But, like I said, I do feel sorry for Georgia.
Right.
Because you just don't drop them that many spaces. And the 2 teams came up 4 spaces.
Hello.
So anyway, that's just the thing that bothers me the most. We're jumping more spaces than we normally do, and it's all just follow the money. And we've talked about all the different stuff.
Yeah.
So, but
all right,
that's my sermonette for today.
I had a call. I dropped it. I got to call him back in the break. I did one thing. I posted this and got jumped. Florida State, the spread against Florida State against Michigan. Michigan we favored 12.5. Washington -5, Alabama -12, Texas -9.5, which means absolutely anything. Let me explain why. You look at my Facebook page, I always share things, then I go back and read them later. Like if I see something I like, I will hit it where it goes on my page, and then later at night when I start thinking about the show, I go read things, see what we can talk about and what we don't. It's because somebody's going, man, you like stirring the pot. And I said, no, I'm just. I'm gonna have to be careful before I go to see Paul and eat down there because you might shoot me. But let me tell you, somebody stirring the pot. This is Ed Strickland that we all know, and people making all these different comments. Tommy made a comment on there too. Amy Counts anyway. Ed Strickland goes, sour grapes. Get over it, people. Roll Tide. Ed, be careful.
Yes.
Be careful. You run your mouth a lot. You got popped in the mouth at the Auburn-Alabama game in Auburn one time.
Well, if he keeps that up, we ordered something from him. We may just say, okay, we don't want that. So,
Oh, we got to take this call. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Who is this?
This is you.
Who is
your
this?
favorite
Listen to
mayor?
him.
Oh, hey! You don't sound like yourself today. I apologize. I couldn't answer my phone during the live show.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to call that live. Bill Allen is sitting in the truck with me, and I just got through sharing with him. He said, "Well, you need to call Coach Hales and tell him." And so, and especially with Glenn there, did you? I guess you didn't hear the news that your buddy from Alabama went into the transfer portal. Milroe.
What?
Yeah. Florida State. You got your brown pants on?
Gotta take a break so I can call the paramedics.
Tell Bill. I don't believe it. Bill Allen's trying to give me a heart attack. I know what he's doing. Unbelievable. Listen, that's wrong. That's rude.
We are still reeling from that great decision. I've heard some really great arguments from the FSU side, from different people. It's just, and then I heard from people that they decided it 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
They just needed an excuse.
Yep, they were.
Who knows?
When you watched them when the Alabama threw the touchdown against Auburn, did you see Reese Davis and
Herb Street
jump up and down and hug each other?
They said Roll Tide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
they were at the Florida State Florida
game. They were at the Florida State Florida game, and then they just knew we couldn't win that one. And then when they said we couldn't win the Louisville one, then that just threw the monkey wrench in their whole thing. So, and then Herb Street on November the 18th, when he was doing the college game day, he said, I would kick Florida State out. That's exactly what he said, if you go back and look at game day. And then look at McElroy. Tuesday before the championship playoffs, he's all for Florida State. If they went out, no way. End of discussion, no one-leg team. So then they come back the day of, before they even picked them, he starts, well, the top 4 teams, Alabama should be in there. And so they got to him, but
yeah,
I feel sorry for Booger McFarland and RJ3. They may lose their jobs.
Hey, Mayor, let me read you a text I got from Bill Allen.
That's exactly what they're supposed to do. Say that again?
Let me read this, what Bill Allen sent me Sunday right after the committee made the announcement. Congratulations.
What?
You guys deserve to be in.
No.
We didn't have our quarterback. We're not very good anyway. They got it right. Bill Allen.
You know where the new player...
that's the worm. That's the worm coming out of the bird's butt. No, sir. We're not going with it. Let me tell you. Here's the thing. If I said this the other day, it was 52-42. We beat Louisville. We're in.
Yeah.
Because they, but 16-6. Nobody. We gave up one touchdown after a bad call in the Florida game. That's how they got that touchdown, because there was a chicken crap call where they got ball 1st and 10 on the 7 when it would have been 4th and goal on the 30 or something. That one touchdown. We gave up one touchdown in 2 games. Isn't that better than scoring 40 or 50 points?
Yeah, you win championships with defense.
Defense means nothing now.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I won. They had a contest in the News Herald years ago. You picked the score of the Super Bowl, and I picked 17-14, Dallas over Pittsburgh, and I hit it right on the nose. I won $50, and it was, 45 years ago.
I know.
And boy, I'll tell you what, nobody bellyached about defense. when the NFL was 17-14, but we got a 16-6 game. Oh, they suck. We can't put them in the national championship. Nobody wants to watch.
They didn't stop.
Come on.
They didn't stop the game Monday night when the two quarterbacks went down, did they? The NFL game.
No.
Right.
So,
Hey, look, it is not the committee. I haven't called, but, as you might have guessed, I've got an opinion.
No, not you.
Committee's job. It is not the committee's job to determine who's going to win a game or who's not going to win a game.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Yeah, it should, Booger's right, it should be played on the field, but they're saying, well, you don't have your quarterback, like the quarterback is the only position on the field, so you can't win. We decided you can't win.
Right.
All right, well, they're thinking, with that thinking, we should have forfeited to Florida, and we should have forfeited the ACC championship because we can't win any other way. Right. That's idiotic. That makes no sense at all to make that kind of judgment. And if they're making those kind of judgments, why aren't they going back looking at Michigan saying, okay, they cheated. We all know they cheated.
Right.
How many games would they have lost if they hadn't cheated?
Well, Bill, they're going to have to...
forward, going forward, it's just like losing a quarterback. How many games will they win if they can't cheat?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, we got to take a break. We got to take a break.
Yeah,
can y'all hold on?
One last thing.
Why? Am I making too much sense for y'all?
No. I want to ask you a question.
Sponsors.
Don't hang up.
All right, go ahead. We'll wait.
Don't hang up.
Not everybody can win $50.
I want to get paid for the. I'm like Herb Street. I want to get paid for this.
Y'all wait. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many. It's incredible. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make it help for you. One on 23rd Street in Pier Park, and he'll be in tomorrow. He got heated, buddy. Him and Michigan got heated. He said Michigan should not be allowed to play in the playoffs. They're going to have to forfeit their games in the future, and they are. You wait and see. It's going to happen. And they're letting them play. Anyway, get out to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Dr. Ward does an incredible job. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, you need to go down and see Dr. Ward. We got to get Bill Allen in there. He does not look right. Have you seen him lately? Anyway, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Who's that coming down the track? A losing team in red and black. Nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious, losing Georgia fan. JK and I, man, didn't want us in where they can sit back on the couch and watch us win.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy skies and a high of 59 with a light breeze coming out of the south-southeast around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 51. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy most of the day except a slight chance of showers in the evening and a high around 67. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. 717 West 11th Street.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's a great song right there.
I like it when Sir Swine sings it, though.
Ooh, baby. Elvis. All right, let's get our sponsorships done real quick and get Bill and the mayor back in here. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, you want to have a great meal. Tommy and I had a great time the other day down there. Saw Pat. Get down and have a great time. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Sorry about that, Glenn. Don't forget Wednesday. They got lunch specials every day, but Wednesday, really good time to go. $9.99, 10 wings inside and drink for $9.99. Can't beat that. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Yesterday had lunch at the Cajun Place. Unbelievable. Their special was great, but I always get that chicken gumbo that I love. Do we have the Renegades on the still on the radio? All right, let's bring them back on.
You got them. Now listen.
Go ahead.
I want to give you a perspective here. Where ESPN pays $475 million to the college football playoff system.
Yes.
Where do they get their money from?
Advertising.
Advertisers. And the advertisements are when? During the game. So you probably got to play the game to have any money to pay for it.
Right.
So quit prognosticating. If they really wanted to make money, if they really had any stones between their legs, they would have televised their meeting. Those 13 sitting around the table, put that on TV. Do you know what kind of money they could have charged for that advertisement? And then they'd have plenty of money, and they could prognosticate all they wanted to, and it wouldn't matter about the games because they could pay the $475.
Right.
It's just bizarre that you've got people involved in this situation that are more concerned about what they think based on something that happened a couple of weeks ago or a few months ago.
Right.
Oh, is Texas the same team as it was at the beginning of the year? Is Alabama the same team? No. I mean, Milroe, had such problems in the first game, and the second game, Feinbaum was ready to fire Saban after the USF game. But now all of a sudden, all those things change. They form their opinions based on what just happened last night or a week ago. What about that famous thing that I heard last year? Every week, body of work. It's the body of work. Nobody's talking about body of work this year because that's not a buzzword. I mean, you got to go by the whole season. You can't go by just what happened in one particular game. And any time a team finds a way to win, no matter what happens with adversity, that's the team people want to see.
Right.
But not according to those prognosticators.
Well,
makes me sick.
Mayor,
I'm sorry, but it has consumed me, and I'm sorry that it has, but I feel for those kids because all those kids that came back to play another year, hey, let's come back and win a national championship, can't even tell if they could or not now. And they did everything they were supposed to do that, and a lot of them cost them a lot of money.
Right. Yep. Well, if they're going to do what they did, they shouldn't have them in the top four this past week. But let me tell you something real quick. Alabama-Georgia game drew 22+ million, the most watched in maybe ever streaming. And Florida and Louisville drew about 7 million people. So I always say follow the money. And we might be wrong. Maybe they didn't think that, but that's just kind of what I think.
Well, and also Michigan was playing at the same time, too. The number one team was playing at the same time Florida State did. That's going to cut into it. I mean, I'm trying to make excuses, but you got to look at everything that was going on TV, at 7 o'clock at night that night. So
Norvell proved that he could win with the second-string quarterback. He proved he could win with the third-string quarterback. And if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago, Ohio State won the national championship with the third-string quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody kept them out of the national championship. So if it's that important in this first playoff game, and I'm not trying to jinx anybody, but say Milroe goes down on the first play or the first couple of plays like Rodgers, does the committee just say, okay, you can't win and forfeit that game and go on to the next one? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what they're basing everything on. It just makes no sense. It happened to Florida State, but anybody that this happened to, it would be a travesty, and you can't back it up.
Yeah, Bill,
because there's too many contradictions.
Bill, we were Jeremy Pridge and I were talking back and forth, texting back and forth, and Jeremy, you texted, you said, Bama's out. They're not getting in. They're going to put Texas in. We all thought, we thought when the games were, when Florida State won, I said, it's over. You know, we're in trouble. I thought it was going to be undefeated Michigan. And go look at their schedule. We just looked at their schedules. Don't tell me they played a tougher schedule than Florida State. That's BS. That's a bunch of crap. And people forget week one. Week one, Florida State played a top 10 team. Go ahead.
8 or 9 of the teams that they played had 100-plus worst offenses in the country.
Right.
They talk about Michigan's defense. It's their offenses of the teams they played were horrible in most of those games. I mean, Iowa, they couldn't score against Jinx.
Right.
I mean, it was terrible.
Right.
So,
well, what I'm getting at, we thought, Jeremy, I would think, all right, number 2 is going to be Washington because they're 13-0. Florida State was ranked 4th. Georgia lost. They'll move up. They're 13-0. And we're going, it's going to be either Texas or Georgia, or not Georgia, Alabama. So we're like, Alabama we got beat at home. I was at the game. I said, they're going to put Texas in. They talked about head-to-head the whole time. The whole time the committee was talking about head-to-head counts, conference championships counts, records counts, on the field counts. And we were like, we're out.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest contradiction. It's ridiculous. They're contradicting everything that they said by doing this. And it is, of course, all about money in the end. It always is. But once again, you got a complete failure about the useless organization, the NCAA. Michigan should be suspended. They shouldn't even be playing. They cheated. Everybody knows they're cheated. The coach got suspended. The NCAA sending the message, just like Major League Baseball did with Houston Astros, it's okay to cheat. We'll just look over it. You can still win.
But here's the other thing, too, is if they can create any kind of scenario they want to, just go ahead and make it 6 teams this year and make the Georgia-Florida game, make that that one of the college football playoffs. And then you got to figure out what do you do when you got 3 winners. But you know, if you can adjust and be that adaptable, and you can do whatever the hell you want, then do whatever the hell you want, and change it. Let's just change it right now, because we just gave you the most illegitimate excuse why that they can't be there. So hell, we'll just say, you know what, we can't make everybody happy, but we're going to do our damnedest to do it. We're going to go ahead and make it a 16 playoff.
Well, all you got to do right now, Mayor, all you got to do right
Florida
now,
State gets dusted.
All you got to do right now is put Oregon in the Cotton Bowl with Ohio State. You got your 8 top teams right there. Let them play it out. Keep going.
Yeah.
Well, one of the challenges.
Boy, will that make money?
Oh yeah, big money.
ESPN ought to pay me for that. I need to start making some money from it. And go ahead and have it 8 teams. You know what? We just decided that's effed up right now. We need to go ahead and have 8 teams. And here's what we're going to do. And here's how we're going to do it.
And it's already set. You're right. It's already set. Just put Oregon in.
Those games have already been called.
Put Missouri.
Those games are called. So
put Missouri in the Fiesta Bowl. Put Oregon in the Cotton Bowl. You got your top 8 teams playing right now.
I mean, you're rewarding bad behavior with Michigan. Let's reward good behavior by these other teams and make it 8 teams. Bam. Start over.
I'm going to tell you right now. Michigan's going to forfeit every game they played. I'm telling you. Look at what they did to Ohio State. Ohio State had 3 tattoos. They made them forfeit every single game. It's going to be 2 or 3 years down the line, maybe 4, but they're going to forfeit every game. It's a joke. And everybody knows it.
But who remembers and who cares?
That's exactly
the only one that's going to suffer for it is us today. A year and a half now, it's, oh, man, we ain't got that trophy.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Got about 30 seconds. What's the hate on Alabama? Why is everybody in the panic? It ain't Alabama. They didn't do anything wrong. It should be your fight. Go ahead.
Everybody against a team that's been winning a lot does that. They always do that. I mean, it's no different than people that either love or they hate the Patriots when they were hot, and same thing with Georgia. I mean, it's just.
I think it's a little more simple than that. I mean, I think in the bottom line is they don't hate Alabama as much as they do you and those other Alabama fans.
Hey, hang up on him. Hang up the phone.
I've included my own daughter like that. And my other good friend, Bill Shields, you're just aggravating people in the world. I used to think in Florida, but they don't hold a candle for you guys.
Hey, listen, we got to go. We got to take a break. Thanks for calling. I got to leave you one thing, baby. Roll Tide.
Yeah.
We're out.
Yeah.
We got to go. Let's go. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I didn't do a deep dive on this. I just felt like the NBA was saying, damn it, you're going to love the NBA early before it gets to Christmas, because Christmas is when we start to watch NBA basketball. This commissioner was like, you're going to watch. We're going to make sure you watch. All right. It's not like I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy skies and a high of 59 with a light breeze coming out of the south-southeast around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 51. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy most of the day except a slight chance of showers in the evening and a high around 67. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings offers a huge selection of portable buildings in just about any size, from the smallest to the largest. And Bestway's prices won't scare you away. Bestway is closing out 2023 with some of the most affordable prices ever. And while there, don't forget to say hello to Bestway Buddy. He may even give you a polygraph. Right, Buddy? Bestway Portable Buildings, 2919 Highway 231 North in Panama City. The best in portable, period.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
High roll. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. It doesn't matter how hot it is. When Bill Allen comes to our house, it gets really hot in there for some reason, a lot of hot air. So we put our air conditioning on, and we got Stevenson Air Conditioning, so we have absolutely no problem. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one of the great guys out there, local company, taking care of locals here throughout the Panhandle. Make sure any kind of problems, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Before you get to Alabama Update, I'm so highly intelligent, I got to say this again. It's so simple this year. You take Oregon out of the Fiesta Bowl. You put them to the Cotton Bowl, okay? You take Missouri. They're not going to lose any money. They go into the Fiesta Bowl. Still, they pay about the same.
Right.
And then you get your 8-team playoff right now this year. They already have it lined up.
Right.
It's simple.
You're going to have it over in 3 weeks.
Well, you might have to add one more week at the end.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it would be. You got 8, 4, 2. Yeah, it'd be 3.
The amount of money they would make. The mayor, that's the reason
That's right.
He's a very successful businessman. Very successful businessman.
And
because I've helped him throughout his career.
You have, yeah.
Yeah. He always would call me. I remember when I first got here.
Yeah, he called you a lot.
All right, Jeremy, what do you got for us today on the mighty Crimson Tide of Alabama?
Well, basketball in the non-conference season, and 6-2 early on. Pretty tough schedule still ahead of the Crimson Tide, but they did pick up a win getting back on the court against Arkansas State. Red Wolves 89-59. They led wire to wire. Great night from the field, shot 44% from the floor, 42% from three-point land, 83% from the line. And if you look at the games that they're winning, they're shooting well. I mean, it's not a mystery in basketball. If you don't shoot well, you're not going to win. So the games they've come up short, they've struggled a bit. But they have a big test Saturday going to Ontario, Canada to play Purdue. Purdue was the number one team, and they lost over the weekend. A lot of upsets in basketball. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but even
they have been a lot.
UNC Wilmington beating Kentucky.
And Auburn got beat. I couldn't believe it.
So Alabama has a chance to get a great non-conference win on a neutral floor playing Purdue, and we'll see how it goes on Saturday early.
What's that game played at?
Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those kind of.
Wow.
Bring them together. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift for your Alabama Crimson Tide fan in your home, you might want to check out the Legends of Alabama Football by Richard Scott. So, we've got 4 weeks now to talk up a Rose Bowl game, so I'm going to have to stretch this out a long time.
I like this. I like what you're saying. I like this off-the-board thing.
Yeah, so you might find it to be rather interesting. Outside of the Big Ten and the Pac-12, Alabama has played in more Rose Bowl games than any other team. You remember the Pac-12, 8, 10, whatever number they were, and the Big Ten had this contractual agreement from 1947 to 2002 that their two winners would meet. So it kind of shut everybody out. But before that, Alabama had been a frequent participant in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl game, which, as we know, is the granddaddy of them all. And, of course, Alabama's had a couple of appearances in the Rose Bowl Stadium. 2000, they played UCLA to open the season because that's where UCLA plays their home games. They busted. Then in 2010, we played Texas, but that was actually the BCS championship game.
Right.
That was when they were double hosting. You'd play the Rose Bowl, and then you'd come back, and they rotated it through. And so the Rose Bowl had a second game where we played
But
Texas.
that still counts as a Rose Bowl, right?
No, that was the BCS championship game at the Rose Bowl Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then 21, we played Notre Dame. But they moved it out of, it was the Rose Bowl game, but they hosted it in Dallas. Because
it was
in
the Cotton Bowl.
Well, they played it at that site, but it was the Rose Bowl game against Notre Dame. Look it up.
Oh, that's right.
Because Newsom, your friend Gavin Newsom wouldn't allow
he wouldn't let him play there.
Right.
That's right.
I understand you're going to be sitting with him this year, though.
No, I got him on something else. I'm suing for all those Chinamen in California.
Well, so they had to move it out. So they technically played in the Rose Bowl in 21 against Notre Dame, but not at the stadium.
Right.
And now, pop
You're
quiz.
right about that.
Pop quiz for you. What's the only other Rose Bowl game that was not played in Pasadena?
Duke. Duke.
Played at Durham, North Carolina because of World War II. So, so this is the first true Rose Bowl game that Alabama has played in Pasadena since when?
1929.
46.
46.
46. Okay. That's exactly right. So a lot of history. What's the line in the fight song? Remember?
The Rose Bowl will win.
Yeah. Hey! Yeah. So why would that make it? Why would Alabama sing about the Rose Bowl in the fight song? Well, interestingly enough, the Rose Bowl, being the granddaddy of them all, kind of had a lot of sway, like a college football playoff committee, as to how the power brokers viewed the sport.
But a lot better.
A lot better. And the Western supremacy, was thought to be kind of the narrative of the day. They just did not recognize Southern football. And you'd play these West Coast teams or Midwest teams would be invited to go out to Pasadena. And the Rose Bowl was not in a hurry to select anyone from the South. And there, in 1926, Alabama had a great ball team by 1926 standards. You looked at who they played. Georgia Tech, Mississippi State were the only teams that 7-0, 6-0 that came close to beating them. And the only team to score against the 26 Alabama team was Birmingham Southern.
Wow.
So even that domination was not enough to guarantee that invitation. A couple other teams had been invited. Yale turned them down. Reportedly, Illinois turned them down. And so the Rose Bowl moved down, and it finally invited Alabama to go out. And you can read about this in the Legends book. Wallace Wade took 22 players.
Wow.
Yeah, by train. Across country.
Would they stop and practice too?
They'd stop and practice. They visited the Grand Canyon. I mean, it's just great.
I read all about that,
great lore there. And went to the Rose Bowl game to play Washington. And if you go and visit the Bryant Museum today, you can go in and see pictures from that ball game. The Rose Bowl's still being built. I mean, the pictures show the incomplete bowl. But as it says there in the caption, Alabama shatters the myth of Western football supremacy, beating Washington 20-19.
Right. And nobody gave them a chance.
Nobody gave them a chance to win that ball game, and they returned home to the Deep South, as heroes, heralded, at every train stop on their way there. So, just thinking, now they get on a plane, and it's chronicled from the time they leave to the time they go home. I mean, this was, just a different era of football.
But the whole world, the whole country would listen to that game on the radio. That was the big deal.
That was it on New Year's Day. Yeah, that was the game.
So if you got to play in it, you became really famous.
Yeah.
Right.
So 22 players, but a lot of them both ways players. Both of them play. You had to play one position. Remember, Otto Graham's number was 77 as the quarterback.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that was the school's first national championship, and it's regarded as putting Southern football
on the map. And that's the reason Alabama is known as the team in the South.
But the history there, for a few more years, they in 31 got to play Washington State, beat them 24-0. Stanford, 29-13. Cal beat them 13-0, and then in the last one they played in before the contractual agreement, you had Alabama 34, USC 14. So good success a long time ago in this ball game. Now, how many times have Michigan and Alabama played?
3.
5.
5 times.
5 times.
Lost, and we beat them in Tampa, I know.
So here's the history. Alabama leads 3-2. Now, you've got the 2 winningest programs in college football history have only played 5 times. This will be the 6th meeting ever. In 88, played them in the Hall of Fame game, 28-24 Michigan. 97 game, Dwayne Rudd, interception, Coach Stallings' last game.
Yeah.
Alabama 17-14. 2000 Orange Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I was at that game.
Who was the quarterback for Michigan?
The Patriots quarterback.
A man named Brady.
Yes. Tall. He was tall. We missed an extra point.
Bumped an extra point.
Ryan
Pfluger.
Sean Alexander had a great game.
I thought the thing was going to overtime late at night, and Ryan Pfluger bumped the extra point.
Glenn, you know where I sat? Right behind the Michigan band. And I had my Alabama. We had all of our Alabama stuff on. Julie got the wrong end zone. Moved all the tickets.
And so 35-34 in the Orange Bowl. And then we played them in one of those neutral site openers out in Arlington, 41-14. Most recently, Alabama and Michigan played in the 2020 Citrus Bowl, 35-16. So a lot more storylines to come in the build-up of this, but there's a little history on Michigan and the Rose Bowl.
I love that. And one thing I don't know if you know this or not, there was a young man in Arkansas listening to that bowl game. And when he listened to that, he goes, I'm going to play at Alabama. That's how big that game was and how big it was for people. That guy's name was Paul Bear Bryant. He said, when I heard that game, he said, everybody in town's listening to the Rose Bowl. Alabama won. I want to play at Alabama. And that's one of the schools, and they offered him a scholarship, and he went. Unbelievable. All right, thank you, Jeremy, for the Alabama update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Who have I missed so far? I tell you who I've missed, Jim Dickerson. All your real estate needs, I don't care what the company is, it's the agent. It's the agent. Now, if Glenn was the agent, I'd go with Glenn. Next best thing out there besides Glenn is Jim Dickerson. He is the #1 guy around here. They are the one to determine what do you get. What do you get? How much money do you get for your loss? Jim Dickerson gives you everything you deserve. He does a great job. I've known him now almost 25 years. Give him a call, 763-4673. 763-4673. Jim Dickerson for all your insurance, everything. State Farm, Jim Dickerson. Turf Pro Pest Control. Patrick does a great job. Our yards are looking absolutely beautiful, almost as good as Glenn's. Turf Pro Pest Control is the reason When we went with them, things got better. They do a great job. Their trucks throughout Bay Point, they do a wonderful job. Patrick, love you, brother. Turpro Pest Control, #1. All right, we'll be right back with the Auburn Tiger update right here on the legendary ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. I've always had this feeling with Pete that he doesn't like a quarterback-reliant team. He wants to run the football. Seattle's defense, it's not great. The running backs, I like them both. They're never healthy. What Pete Carroll wants to win with and what he needs to win with feel like he needs an ideological reboot.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy skies and a high of 59 with a light breeze coming out of the south-southeast around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 51. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy most of the day except a slight chance of showers in the evening and a high around 67. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? The end zone, touchdown, Georgia!
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle! Hey. Our Auburn update brought by Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Go have a great time at Beef O'Brady's. Pat, City Commissioner of Lynn Haven, wonderful person, love him to death, kind, sweet, wonderful man. Get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven and have a great time. They got lunch specials every single day. Tommy and I had a great time over there. You walk in, everybody waits on you, everybody talks to you, and they always got a smile on their face. I like that about the people that work at
Don't forget the onion rings. Man, oh man.
Outstanding. Outstanding, no doubt. Everything there is really good. Hey, I tell you what, they got some of the best chips I've ever had. I don't know. I asked them, I said, what do you do with these chips? They're really, really good. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, go have a great time. All right, Auburn, former. Glenn, I'm going to ask you a question.
All right.
My girlfriend, your sister, when's she going to be back in Nashville?
She's in there today. She flew in yesterday.
Will she be there for the Music City Bowl?
When's the Music City Bowl?
December 30th.
No, she will not. She'll be back in.
Is anybody in her house?
Yes, she's rented the house.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. That's right. I forgot. Dang it. Well, Jamie's covering the game. I thought we might go up there and watch Auburn play. Anyway. All right, here we go. Auburn former head football coach Gus Malzahn. And I like Gus. I always have. I thought he did a good job at Auburn, and he's doing a really good job at Central Florida. Florida, FSU, he goes, look, it's a bad look for college football. He's disappointed. It's just a bad look. Football is really about overcoming any situation out there. Obstacle. It's overcoming a setback, turn to a positive. He didn't say that, but I always say that. He said, 13 quarterback, and they won. They won a championship with a 13 quarterback. Their defense is outstanding. Their defense went up against one of the top 20 offenses in the country, and they won the game. this is a bad look. FSU, they don't get rewarded for what they've done all year. This is not good for college football. Gus was shocked that both, not only FSU didn't get in, but the Georgia Bulldogs didn't get in. He was surprised. You're the number one team in the country. You win 29 straight games. You lose by 3 points, and you drop from 1 to 6. So Georgia does have a complaint in this thing right here. But he goes, this is not good for college football. This should not be going on. The kids did it on the field. And really everything he says, correct. But
you're in.
Yeah. But the bottom line is we got the mayor figured it out, and then I took it a step further, as I usually do, Glenn. You know that. You got Alabama, number 4, playing the number 1 team in the country, Michigan, in the Rose Bowl. In the Cotton Bowl, you have Ohio State, which I believe is number 7. They only lost 1 game to the number 1 team in the country on 2 turnovers, okay? Let's take out and put Oregon in, with 2 losses, and let's drop Missouri to the Fiesta Bowl. That's not fair. They're not ranked number 8. Yeah, they are. No, Oregon is. I think Oregon is ranked number 8. Hey, Oregon is number 8, right?
I think so.
Look at that up. Let's be fair about it.
I can't get past the number 5, so.
Look at that. Is Oregon 8?
All right. Final rankings here. Come on. I'm looking.
You're looking. We got 30 minutes.
That's good. Oregon 8, Ohio State 7.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's put Oregon in the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State's already there. Let's knock out Missouri, go to the Fiesta Bowl, which is still a great bowl game. It's a great bowl game, and the pay, I think, is about the same. Now, you already got Florida State in Georgia in their Orange Bowl, right?
Uh-huh.
Texas in the Sugar Bowl against Washington.
Right.
Now, what I would do, I would bump Washington out of the Sugar, send them to the Rose, send Alabama to the Sugar, but they've already played. No, I wouldn't. I'd keep it just like it is. Keep it just like it is. Then you got your 8-team playoff.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now you'd have to go to how many more games? 2 more games?
Yeah, it'd be 3 for the championship.
Yeah, you have to win 3 of those for the championship.
Yeah, the winners advance, and then you'd have 1 more round.
I volunteer right now. We'll have it in Atlanta, the national champ. Well, we'll keep Houston's national champ. Let's in the next round go to Atlanta. Heck, I don't care. Have a double hitter, whatever. That would solve everything.
Right.
And he's right. The mayor's right. The amount of money they would double the amount of money they make right now. But you know why we can't even think about something now like this?
Makes too much sense.
The ACC and the Big 12, and those people said, no, we're not going to play in the playoffs this early. Remember? Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to start it earlier, and they said no. Now it comes back and bites them.
It does. It did. Yep.
Anyway, that's not going to happen whatsoever. But would it be fair? Would it be fair for the teams that made the top 4 to make them play these extra games? Life's not fair. It wasn't fair to Florida State, was it?
Nope.
Anyway.
Well, we are going to have to look in some way, shape or form. We're talking about speeding the game up so we can play more of them to try to get to a champion. We're going to eliminate some of these.
They might have speeded the games up, but when I sit there and watch them, it looks like it's even longer, and you see a lot more commercials.
You do. Mm-hmm. Yep. And they all do it at the same time, because every time you turn the channel, it's the same. Yeah. I'm like, man.
Speaking of Auburn, if you're an Auburn fan, you ought to feel pretty good about the future of your program. The only problem is, you look at these schedules in the next couple of years, I'm telling you, if you go 10-2 in the SEC and the Big Ten, you've had a great year. Because I just can't see people going undefeated when you play some of these teams people are going to have to play.
Right.
Auburn, Gus Malzahn is knocking it out of the ballpark in recruiting. Glenn, if they get that 5-star from Florida State, they flipped a 5-star from Alabama, which I couldn't believe. It's not over yet. He ain't signed yet, but he says he's going to Auburn. They've got one of the best recruiting classes of wide receivers that you might ever see. They're like what Ohio State's done in the past. I mean, they've got some great receivers coming in there. But I did see one lineman. They got one big offensive line I think did just commit. I didn't write it down, so I apologize. But they're getting great skill players, Jeremy. but they need to get great defensive linemen and also offensive linemen. How hard does he go after the portal? How hard does he go in there this year? Do you think he gets a lot of kids?
I think he'll go and it's a portal because there's over 3,000 people already in it.
Right.
So you got to be.
And everybody's trying to get the quarterbacks number one.
Right.
And who do they get at quarterback? I hadn't been hearing anything lately. I had heard at one time it was going to be Mississippi State's quarterback. Then I've heard other things, but I don't know anything for sure. And the people I used to talk to, I haven't talked to.
There's a bunch of quarterbacks out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But one thing about this I hate is hurting the high school players.
Right.
You're not only now, so in the old days, the parents get upset, why are you not getting a scholarship? And we try to explain to them, look, you're not competing against kids here in this part of the state. Now you're competing with everybody in the country. The recruiting's national now.
Right. Yep.
And now you take it to another level. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm a college coach and I'm watching film, this kid we know can play against college competition. With a high school kid, you think they can, you think you can develop them, or you wouldn't sign them. Some you know for sure you can do it. Downs at Alabama, you know he can play All-American as a freshman. But I would probably take a college guy, too, if I had to. My job's on the line. I'm going to take something I think.
Well, they've already experienced other aspects of that transition.
And some have been negative.
Yeah. Some have been negative, but they're acclimated to the higher education environment. They've gone away from home. I mean, there's different things that are just part of that.
It really is, unless you play a sport in the spring, to enroll early if you can.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's talk about some of our great people. Get back, we'll finish up. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. Glenn, you guys have used them at Bay quite a bit for catering.
Yes.
Not only is it a great place to go have lunch, breakfast, or dinner, but they'll bring it to you. They do a great job. Jeremy, you're down there all the time, and I'm still mine is the turkey. Same thing.
Oh yeah, I like that. I do.
I love the turkey. And Christmas is coming up. You can get ham, you can get turkey. They'll do it for you. Rudy's Barbecue and Back. And don't forget about the Lorelei Layton Room in the back. Great place to have a football banquet, basketball banquet, chamber meeting. You name it, they can do it right there. Charlie Corn's Place, the brand new one. It opened 10/17/23. It's right there on 15th Street. We're talking, it's beautiful. They've owned a restaurant since 1986. They got a back room that says 25 people. They got great lunch specials every single day. Go check it out. I think you'll love it. Glenn, you've been there.
Absolutely.
I want to go. What I really want to get, I want to get those vegetables and a BLT.
Right.
I every time, I loved it when he had one on the beach. After the games, we used to go there all the time. But Charlie, he's a legend around here. Him and Linda do a great job. Again, they've owned the restaurant since 1986. They know what they're doing. Also, what else we got to talk about? I tell you what, I got time? All right, let's do a couple more. J. Michael's Restaurant. They're closed down right now. They'll be open as soon as they get remodeled, and we'll let you know when the doors come back up. We think we know when it's going to happen, but after watching what happened at Christo's, you just don't know what's going to happen. Chuck Tucker, love you, brother. Great job that you do. Offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. For all your real estate closings, make sure you go with South Oak Title and Closing. They're number one at what they do. They're incredible. Stevenson Air Condition, anytime, day or night. Just give them a call. They'll be there to solve all problems. Dr. Chad Mitchell, a legend here in Bay County, heck, in Northwest Florida. Any type of injury, go see Chad. You can listen to him Monday mornings right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And one of our favorite places you can never get in during the summer, that Cajun place. You can get in now. They've taken care of the locals. Once you get a college game starts, NFL game starts, you get $5 pitchers and 50-cent wings. You can't beat that anywhere. Wear your colors in there. Army, Navy this weekend. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm worried about one situation. When we get back, we'll go over it. It's kind of sad if you're an Alabama fan. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida is already your home for the most live and local sports talk. And now we're taking...
Oh, he got all of that one.
The Inside Drive. Ryan Mulvey, middays, 11 to 1 inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. The latest reactions to the biggest stories happening right now. Plus, interviews, sports betting, and your calls.
You gotta be pleased with that.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This week has flown by. I always talk about Florida State, all the calls. We appreciate that. If you want to give us a call, 215-6290, feel free to do so. Glenn, thank you for coming back in today. Appreciate that. Jeremy, thank you for always showing up on Thursdays. Always have a great time. Don't leave today till I show you my calendar. I'll go over something with you. All right, I got a question. It's really directed towards you, Jeremy. And I'll be honest with you, I am concerned. First time ever. And I think he's sending a message. I really, truly do. And it's going to shock a lot of people. Nick Saban, first thing out of his mouth after the game had been interviewed. Now, I can't remember if it's the SEC Network. I think it was the SEC Network. First thing out of his mouth said, "You have no idea how tired I am." And he looked tired. Not that he was happy about winning the SEC. Not he's happy about beating Georgia. First thing out of his mouth, "You have no idea how tired I am." I predict if he wins the national championship, he retires. He takes Lee's job on game day. I got a feeling this is his last year. Am I wrong?
If he gets a chance to go out on top, he'll go out on top. The 300 club's the only thing that's still kind of out there. He's close to it. But in that same vein, they had a little clip showing the two, Kirby and Nick, gathering at midfield. You can find it out there. Walks up to Kirby and shakes hands, and in the exchange of pleasantries, he said, "I'm getting too old for this."
Yeah. I think he's done.
Yeah.
I do. I don't think he's going to be there next
Well, this
year.
team's taking years off his life.
I think it's what's changing in college football.
The changes, and the thing is, tireless hours, and people don't know what goes into it. And
72 years old.
And it's always just
why not go out on top?
Yeah,
Right?
and so the little naggy things that you wouldn't, they just build up. Like, why did he get all those phone calls? I mean, who found his number? How did they get his number?
Yeah.
Those things. But I hope he does go in there, not because he's retiring, but because I want to get rid of Pat McAfee. That guy has ruined that show. And then, of course, Lee Corso is getting a little too old and everything. I appreciate, the only thing I appreciate about Curb Herbstreit, I call him backwards because he takes care of Lee. Now, they're great friends.
Right.
And so, but he's made some comments that have gotten him. And
we were at the, there, saw it live during a commercial break. When we were right there, we touch him. And, they got that net up there, too, where he can't throw things. But they had to help. And bless his heart, I love him. It's like we do with Glenn. When Glenn comes in, we got to help him get into the chair, and we help him get out of the chair. We have to undo his buckle. You know how we have to take care of Glenn? Seriously, they had to help him get in off the chair. Well, how old is he now? He's got to be 80s.
Mid-80s.
Mid-80s, I think. He may be more.
And Kirby told me this. This is a long time ago. We were in 38. He said, I'm telling you, because we were like, man, if you stay here, you're going to be the next head coach at Alabama. He goes, Nick ain't going anywhere. As long as he wins, he's going to stay there.
He is 88 years old.
Yeah. He said he's going to keep it at Alabama. Said that, but there's one thing I do think he might do. Said he likes that TV stuff. He would go to work at ESPN.
Right.
So I just think he just won the SEC championship. He's back in the playoffs. He has nothing else to prove. Next year, look at Alabama's schedule next year. With the week before Auburn, they got a game, I believe it's at Oklahoma. The schedule's crazy. How many more times is he going to get back in it?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I'm him, he's 72 years. He's done everything. Yeah. He is the greatest coach that's ever lived. I still love Bear Bryant. But what else you got? He didn't have anything else to prove.
No, that's right.
If I'm him, I'm done.
Yeah.
And when him to say that, when I heard him say that, I thought, he's done. He's not going to coach anymore.
Well, yeah, also how much is Miss Terry pushing him to, you're doing?
Well, you listen to him, she probably wants to keep going.
I love the story about him going back to the, thing and said, see there? He should, no, he would be the head coach.
Now, this is just an opinion. Do I know anything? Absolutely, we don't know anything. We're just telling what I think.
But it gets to a point.
Now, if it gets out that we're saying this crap and people say, oh, yeah, see, he's not even going to be here. Why do you want to go to Alabama?
Mm-hmm. No, that's just our opinion.
Yeah. But I do, Jeremy. I think he's done.
Well, I do think you hit on a key issue with the portal being what it is. Coaches could come and go and players were locked in. Now, an entire program can shift overnight just on a coaching change.
Yeah.
Right. Or it doesn't even have to be.
Doesn't have to be a change.
Right.
They can just change.
We saw Alabama for 25 years more or less dominate the whole time Bear Bryant was there. He had 2 bad years. His last year about killed him. It did kill him, and he lost 4 games. And they were ranked number 1 that year at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened after he left. 2 years later, they had a losing season, which they hadn't had in 25 years. So it's going to be critical they get the right guy. And I thought Stark was the guy if he would have stayed. Who are they going to go with now when they do make a change?
Kiffin.
I'm okay with it. He's the only one that's got enough guts to take it. Mm-hmm. He wants the job. Mm-hmm. Why do you think he didn't go to Auburn?
Yeah, he's waiting.
He wants that job.
And look what he just did at Ole Miss. That's as good as you can ask for in Oxford, Mississippi.
And he wants the elite job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that. You know what? I'm okay with it. I hope they do get it.
And you've got Saban, with Smart at Georgia, Sark at Texas, Kiffin at Alabama. I mean, all of his and disciples are out there.
Am I wrong, though? Do you agree with anything I've said?
No, I've noticed the same thing, and the little clip with Kirby. I thought that's interesting. He a little reflective,
Because everything he says, there's a reason he says it. He's letting us know it's coming, and because he knows people are gonna be like, "What the hell? Why are you doing this?" I think he's done this year, and he wouldn't have said that on national TV. First thing out of his mouth, you have no idea how tired I am.
Right.
You just, I think, have you ever said after a big game at Bay, do you ever go, man, I'm so tired?
No.
You don't, you just.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing you say with the coaches.
Right.
With the coach when you're in there together, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Coach. If you think he's going to retire this year, is he going to be like some of these pro quarterbacks that retire for a year or two and they can't stand not doing anything, can't stand not being involved, and then turn around and come back in and start
I don't think
coaching?
so.
No, I think he would be a prime person to put on one of these.
He's going to be
for daytime.
He's going to be on ESPN.
Yeah,
I guarantee you. He's going to be. I think he knows he's got that job right now.
Right. He's going to take a pay cut, but he's going to be in there.
Yeah, yeah. But one thing I don't agree what he did, and who am I to question anything he does? You're 72 years old and you spend all this money on all these dealerships right now, the way the economy is and everything like that. But he's got all those big time boosters involved with him in this deal. But would you, just me, 70, even at 66, at my age, I wouldn't invest in something like that right now. But he's on a different pay level.
Yeah, but here's the other thing too: is his name on it,
right,
makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, and we don't know the details of the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But his name on it, he's getting 20% off the gross.
He's smart. I shouldn't question that. But then again, another reason I think he's kind of, why would you buy that, what is it, $17 million house over here in South Florida? Southeast Florida?
Yeah.
I kind of think this is the last hurrah. We're seeing it right now. I really believe that. And I hope I'm wrong, because every time you make a change, all those people in that building are going to be looking for jobs.
Well, the most vulnerable time in any organization is a change of leadership at the top.
Yeah. I think it's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But anyway, another question, both of you guys. I want to switch it to Ohio State and Coach Day. You got all the last year's football team had some of the best looking players I've ever seen. They didn't get it done. They got embarrassed at home at Michigan. They have another great. They got talent like you would not believe. Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State every single year. Go look at all the teams and players who they look at. That's the three teams always in this recruiting. And he can't get it done. He's lost to Michigan 3 times. If Nick Saban's coaching Ohio State, they just won 3 national championships, in my opinion. I go back to the national championship game when Ohio State played Alabama, and you've got an inside linebacker out of position trying to cover the Heisman Trophy winner. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm a high school coach. And every coach I talked to since then, college and high school, they were like, and Alabama coach, they loved it, buddy. They were like, yeah, we were kind of surprised too. They didn't go to a nickel. They didn't go to a dime package. They kept that guy, a linebacker, on Smith. And didn't he tear him up in that game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's your thoughts on Coach Day and the Buckeyes? Am I being too hard on him? Because there's certain schools you're going to win no matter who, they just got better players than everybody they play.
The teams are evenly matched. I mean, and it's the game for a reason, because it's about the only game in the Big Ten, currently. I mean, Penn State's flash occasionally, but sometimes it just comes down to looking across the field and wondering if you can beat the other team. There's no real difference when you look at skill position, and coaching makes a difference here, but that belief is something you can't teach either. You can get in the other team's head, and I think it's shifting now where
Urban Meyers was in Ryan Harbaugh's head, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's flipped now. I really do.
Yeah.
Where that rivalry game is a little different, because those kids don't necessarily know each other. An in-state rivalry game, now you got a lot of kids who are from the area. They've grown up with each other. They look across and they're not as intimidated.
Yeah.
But Ohio State, Michigan, 2 different worlds there.
Glenn, real quick, what do you think?
I think for his sake, he probably needs to get out and go somewhere else, because they're
starting to turn.
Right, they're starting to turn, and no matter what he does, it's not going to be right. And like Mark Richt, he didn't win the right 10 games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing, too, is if you know that you're going to be weak on defense, to me, you would go out and get more defense, but they keep doing the offense. Now, I'm not a big Ohio State fan as far as knowing their recruiting, but, you got to fix the weak points. And so I just think he's not done a very good job of that.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Come back and finish up with Jeremy and Glenn Manley. We got a new football coach at Middle Tennessee, and there's one of the big alumni that was pretty happy with it. He might be pretty mad about it. We'll ask him when we get back. But let's talk about some of our great people, like El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base. Go check it out. I think you'll love it. Tonight they got karaoke going on. I've seen Steve Moss down there quite a bit on Thursday nights, him singing around, dancing, looked really good. And I don't know if he's going to be there tonight or not, but we were there last night, had a great time. Tomorrow we have Jason Kovaleski, Jim Brandt here, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better, go see Jason. You want to lose weight, I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact, it works. My wife's lost like 12 pounds. She's looking really good, and it's because of Jason. I'm telling you right now, they do a great job. Max Fit Sports. What's your favorite thing you get down there?
I get the joint boost and also the greens where you mix in and it tastes good, and you get your veggies and greens in one little swallow or 2 little swallows.
If it doesn't look right, feel right, the guy to go to is Dr. Ward. I'm telling you, the guy's incredible. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. And don't play around with it. It can be deadly. And there's offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Just call his office, make an appointment, go see him. I've been with him, and he's taking care of me. I've had it. And he's done a great job doing surgery. The guy's incredible. And you listen to Dr. Ward every Wednesday right here. He's pretty sharp now. Every Wednesday right here at 7:30. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know why you would suggest you would rather have Marcus Mariota out there over Jalen Hurts. You got to be out of your damn mind. All Jalen Hurts does is win. Why in God's world would you want to have Marcus Mariota to be your guy in a season where your team has championship aspirations? It makes no sense.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, partly cloudy skies and a high of 59 with a light breeze coming out of the south-southeast around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a low near 51. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy most of the day except a slight chance of showers in the evening and a high around 67. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, folks. It's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices on all diamond jewelry. Whether you're looking for a certified diamond, wedding set, diamond stud earrings, or tennis bracelet, Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the best selection of diamond jewelry you'll find anywhere. And they're all on sale now at 30 to 50% off. From stocking stuffers to extra special surprises, shop where Santa shops. Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Hi, this is Ryan Mulvey. Join me weekdays starting at 11 for the Inside Drive. The latest sports stories, the biggest reactions, and even sports betting right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Glenn, you did a great thing. You're smart. You want to make your wife, and don't tell anybody what we're talking about right now. Keep it between all of us.
It's a man's world.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Give me
I can't believe you haven't played it lately.
I don't want to spoil you.
Jeremy plays that every time he preaches. That comes on, he starts preaching. Anyway, Glenn, you went down and you got a great gift. Got a deal. Talk about where you went.
I went to David Adamson's Jewelry, right there across from the police station, and in Lynn Haven, right there. If you were going to turn right to go towards the golf course, you just turn left, and it's on that corner.
9th and 77.
Yep, can't miss it. They may not know where 9th is, but they know how to turn into the country club. So,
okay.
But anyway, great deal. Get in there. Great people. Great. I tell you what, I looked around for about an hour, and then I just found something, and they gave me a great deal, sweet deal, and you can't say enough good things about them. And if you got things that need to be fixed, you bring it. They fix it right there.
That's what I love about it.
And the guy that I had the young lady wait on me very well, but the owner comes out and talks to you and everything. So he told me to tell you need to be getting down there, even though
I am. Julie and I are gonna go together. I'm gonna let her pick out what she wants.
But you keep saying that. But guess what? How many more days to Christmas?
I know. I hadn't done anything.
So anyway, but what a great place. I really enjoyed it.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
I think you guys will love it. Jeremy, what's going on down at church? Everything been going pretty good?
Oh, yeah. We've got a great holiday season coming up at First United Methodist Church, Panama City, and it is quickly approaching. A lot of shopping and activities going on, but we're getting ready for services on Christmas Eve. It's 3 and 6 that night. Looking forward to a big holiday season. So
this is really the big time for the church as far as things you have. Yeah.
I want to ask you both. We'll get into the new coach, Derek Mason, just 1 second. But I do want to ask you this. Did Texas A&M get it right? They went to the ACC. They got Duke's head football coach that has a connection to A&M, been there before. I will be honest with you, who I'd have gone after, there's 2 other guys I'd have looked at if I was them. Big name coach would have been Ryan Day. And I'm like you, I think he might have looked into it because they can pay the big bucks. and he's got to win it. He got to beat Michigan next year.
Right.
Or the other guy, number one guy, I think I would have gone out is the head coach for Louisville. That guy, look what he's done. This first year, he's won 10 ball games.
Right.
They were down, unorganized. He got that thing rolling.
But he played there, so you don't think
he'd have left?
I don't think he'd have. He might have, but I doubt it. So, when it's something about coming back to school you played, and knowing what.
Who would you have gotten out of those three? The ones they got, and the other two.
I think Ryan Day would have been okay, but I think, do you know what the SEC is all about? Do you know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got more strain here. I think Elko knows because he was the defense coordinator. So there you go with some of the places they have, and I'm sure going to bring his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So
he did a great job.
So they did a great job. They were one play away from beating Notre Dame, and things like that. So I just think he's going to be a good fit for them.
I think so. I think with the ties to the program, you got to have somebody who can be quick.
So you wouldn't have gone to the other two?
I probably would not. I think they have to shore it up, and a known entity that can settle everybody down in this transfer era.
Well, the thing that impressed me about Elko was the quarterback got hurt against Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Riley. He would not let him go back in there because he knew he was injured, even though the kid didn't go in there. And you could see him tell him there's more important things than winning. He wanted to win, but you can't put the kid back out there.
Right.
He was definitely hurt. I mean,
Right.
so.
And that quarterback's from Alabama. I think Fairhope.
Fairhope.
Yeah, I think so. Great basketball player. All right, let's get into this. You said something made me really think, and I think you hit on something. Jeff Bauer, 16 years head football coach of Southern Mississippi. They get him and Richard kind of getting disagreement on some things. Bumped heads, and all of a sudden, I love Richard Giannini, the AD there. He's not anymore, but I loved him. He's in the Florida Hall of Fame. But Jeff left, and they got it going for a while, but look where it's at now.
But see, when Jeff left, Coach Butler had left, and you got those guys that had made it stable.
That played there, had a connection there, knew everybody in the state.
Right, and Coach Butler would come see us, and everything. So, he would come in and right off he said, "You got anybody I can have?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of going, "I want the."
Right.
So, but he knew how to coach. He from Hartford, Alabama, Coach Butler.
Right. And now that they're gone.
Right.
Let's look at Middle Tennessee. Rick Stockstill, he's there 18 years. Now this year was a bad year. They're 4-8. Overall record there, 113, 111, 4 bowl wins. He never won the conference. I can see it both ways, but could this turn into, like you pointed out, but you made a great point, by the way. What do you think?
Middle Tennessee State each year is going to pick up a couple of these money games that they just have to have in the program. Mm-hmm. Southern Miss did the same thing. We had a 15-year contract with them where every game was in Tuscaloosa or Birmingham, because and you're going to take L's. So the record is a little skewed. I mean, you just got to build in.
Right.
If you go 9-2, you've had a really good year because you probably played a couple Power Fives to pay the bills.
Right.
But the stability in these programs that are, the Conference USA Sun Belt crowd, I think really are driven by the personality of the coaches, and these long tenures are few and far between these days. They're stepping stone jobs typically.
He's done a good job for the most part. I don't know. I haven't looked at their recruiting lately, but their scope is not out there. And you may not can get the top tier guys, but you can bring in competitive guys. Mm-hmm. And I just think the last 2 years got him.
Gotcha.
It's what have you done for me lately?
Right.
And so, when his son was there, his son was a great quarterback. They did really well, and his son was actually the offensive coordinator, I believe, here this year. After 18 years, sometimes it's just time to redo it. When they brought in a good guy, I think Derek Mason will help turn it around. What he surrounds himself with, and the recruiting part is going to be another story. I think I didn't like him or Stockstill personally because who place he took, Andy McCullum, who had done a great job there, who actually had the Division I with him, and they actually built the stadium up. So used to kick extra points, and it would go out of the stadium. And my son would go, "What?" Because when I went up, because there was a track there and there was a big high fence. You kicked it over on Tennessee Boulevard, but he would go. But now, it's a Division I thing, and my son would look at that stadium and go, "Really?" But you know what? I think Derek Mason will be good. I think he knows the area, being the coach at Vanderbilt. If you can bring Vanderbilt up to 500 and do what they do.
I like him.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
All right.
Vanderbilt, he was there from 2014 to 2020. He was at Auburn. I thought he did a good job when he was at Auburn. He was at Oklahoma State, and I don't know if they fired him there or what. But when he was at Vandy, he went 27-55 in 7 seasons. We'll see how it plays out. I think he can recruit.
Yes,
I think he'll do a good job recruiting.
And
who he brings in.
You look at long-tenured coaches that are not Power 5 conferences. Troy Calhoun is the longest at Air Force, 2007. And then you go to Sam Houston State. Casey Keeler has been there since 2014. Jeff Monken at Army at 2014. And Chris Creighton at Eastern Michigan 2014. Chuck Martin at Miami, Ohio, 2014. So there's a little group that's all 2014. But most of these positions, they'll move through on their way to these Power 5
Who's
openings.
got the longest? We got 1 minute. Who's got the longest tenure now as a school? Is it? It's not Nick, I don't think.
No, longest tenured right now.
Not many of them.
Ferentz at Iowa, 99.
That's right. That's right.
Jerry Kill, who was at Minnesota and had problems with his heart, is now New Mexico State's coach.
Yep.
And they won. They're like 10-2, and they won the conference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
New Mexico State's head football coach this year just lost the conference championship, but he beat Auburn. He ought to be moving up or getting a raise. Yeah. Glenn, thanks for coming in.
Sure.
Jeremy, we got you next week.
Yep.
Don't leave. I got to show you something. All right. Ryan Murphy's got a great show lined up for you today, like he always does. Him and Jay, they do a great job. I really enjoy them. And then David, the superstar, David's on this afternoon. We're out, 104.3. Hey, Wildcat, good job, man.
Yep.
It's a man's world. Don't forget that, okay? We're out, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You're home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tonight, it's Thursday Night Football.
Touch left to the 5. Harris barreling into the end zone.